Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP all had some major corrections in September. They all are performing well this year, and Ethereum is taking the lead with the DeFi boom. Bitcoin continues to show strength above the 10K level, and XRP is lagging behind the others. Which one will be the best performer at the end of the year? Let's look at some important price points for all three of them, and then we'll have a look at how our trade's been performing, the ones that we opened up for Bitcoin and Ethereum earlier this year. How's it going, everyone? It's John back again with another video with Currency.com. And in this week's video, we'll be taking a look at the top cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and also we'll have a quick look at Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin and try to see what the charts are showing for October and the possible trade setups going into the end of the year. We will look at the trader sentiment, support and resistance levels for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and then we'll jump into the platform and also look at the price action. And we do have videos just like this coming out weekly, so be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out. Let's get into today's video. First, let's look at the trader sentiment for Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently has 65% buyers and 35% sellers, and the price right now is leaning towards the low of the day, showing that the bears are still in control, but the bulls are starting to fight along. And Ethereum also, it has been dropping this month, moving along with Bitcoin. Right now, there are 69% buyers and 31% sellers on Currency.com. The price is leaning towards the low of the day at around 325 and currently showing that the bulls are starting to gain momentum, maybe test the high of the day of 344. And then here looking at XRP, the trader sentiment on Currency.com. This does have the highest ratio of the three, with 73% buyers and 27% sellers. The price is also leaning towards the low of the day, with the bulls starting to gain momentum back up. And also being that this is the middle of the week, the price could have bottomed out for the week and will potentially start testing the highs again. So let's look at Bitcoin first and the support and resistance levels. So the first major support level to watch right now is 10,150, which has been the lowest daily close of September. And also right now, it is kind of a psychological support level, defending that 10K range. 9,500 to 9,800 would be the next support level after that, which was the range after the March recovery, and also where the price was during the Bitcoin halving in May. And then support number 3 that would need to hold after all those is $9,000. And right now that is currently right on the 200-day moving average. And to the upside for Bitcoin, we need to watch how the price reacts to 10,800, which is the 21 and the 50-day EMA currently. The next resistance level after that is 11,300. Which was a major support level for August. And then the last resistance zone that would bring us to new highs this year is around $12,000, which was the high for September and also the second highest point Bitcoin has been this year. And moving on to Ethereum, support number 1 is $320, which has been the lowest daily close of September. The next support after that is $300, which has been the lowest price range for September. And it is close to the yearly high previously of $290. And then the last support after that is around $260, which right now is around the 200-day moving average. To the upside, the first resistance level for Ethereum is 370, which is the 21-day moving average. The next level after that is 390, which is the 50-day moving average, and also is close to the $400 psychological resistance level. And then the final resistance level after that is around $440, which is the high from August and also the second highest point for Ethereum this year. And moving on, last but not least, to Ripple, support and resistance levels, 21.5 cents, which is the 200-day moving average. And support number 2, 19 cents, which is right around the yearly open. And then the final support after that is right around 17 cents, which is the second highest support that we've had since the March lows. 24 cents is the next range to watch, which was a strong support in September. And after that, 25.5 cents is the 50-day EMA. And then the last resistance zone would be around 28 cents, which was a September open. So first, we're gonna have a look at Bitcoin. So far this year, it is up about 45%, and it is down about 17-20% since the high on August 18th. of about 12,500. And it looks like September was the month of correction, the price making lower highs and rejecting important price levels and breaking support ranges. And I would expect to see at least one more leg down before Bitcoin starts its recovery. And it could be leading right into the end of the month, which wouldn't be a bad idea to go long if it does happen, because it could bring us right down to this 200-day moving average. And if the price were to break down to this 200-day moving average, then the RSI would more than likely come down to this oversold zone, which would be the first time it's been down in those levels since the sell-off in March. And looking here at the trade that we opened up, the long position for Bitcoin earlier this year, it is still in the money, up about 0.045 BTC with our entry point at 9,373. And the most recent sell-off for Bitcoin does not really seem like an issue with Bitcoin itself. It's more coming from metals selling off and the US dollar starting to bounce. And then once they stabilize, we can see Bitcoin continue its uptrend. And Ethereum seems to be impacted by the sell-off as well, having a correction about 35% since the multi-year high of about 490. DeFi boom has played a big role in the recent success of Ethereum's price, and we still have Ethereum 2.0 on the way that is expected to come later this year. And Ethereum is starting to gain more dominance once again in the crypto space. It is still the number 2 cryptocurrency, and it also has about 12% of the market share right now. Ethereum is looking like it wants to touch this 200-day moving average before continuing upwards. It is possible that we can expect to see that happen going into October. You can also see the RSI moving into that oversold zone. So if we were to dip into any range around here, then I do see that as a good buying opportunity. We had something similar happen here where the price crossed above the 200-day moving average, and then it came back down here to test it, which did not hold, but was still a great buying opportunity. Since that crossover, it has been about an 80% recovery, and since the March lows, it's been about a 200% recovery. And one top cryptocurrency that has been struggling to recover is XRP. Since all-time high, it has continued to make a lower high. And this July was the first time it reached levels that it could have finally made it out of that long-term downtrend, but it also rejected that, and the price has corrected about 30% since then. And XRP right now is right on its 200-day moving average, and it could bounce here. But one thing I noticed looking back over the years is that it failed to hold the 200-day moving average support over and over again. You can see that it's never been able to bounce from the 200-day moving average support since all-time high. And the RSI also does seem to agree. This is one of the lowest points it's had now since a low in July and also in March, which were all followed by a 70% bounce and then also an 80% bounce. So let me show you my bullish and bearish scenario that I can see happening. Bullish, I can see another leg down, bringing us right below that 200-day moving average and staying along this trend line here from March. And then we bounce back to test the yearly highs later this year. And that would be the third time that we test that yearly high resistance level of the early 30-cent range. So a possible breakout could be expected finally out of that range. Bearish, I can see the long-term downtrend continuing for XRP if this 200-day moving average fails to hold as support once again. And the price could potentially break down to go back down to these March lows at about 13 to 14 cents. And a lot of these price moves are really dependent on what Bitcoin does. My bullish case for Bitcoin for October to the end of the year is that the price does start to bounce a little bit, but and then continues its way down to that 200-day moving average. And as long as we don't get a daily close down below these levels, then I would remain bullish for a bounce back towards the yearly highs. But unless metals start to bounce back and the dollar begins to fall hard like it did for the past few months, then I think Bitcoin will stay within this range here between the yearly high and the 200-day moving average until the end of the year. And if we can end the year above that 50-day moving average, then I can expect a new high or a breakout above this 12,500 range in the beginning of 2021. But let's say the sell-off does continue and Bitcoin continues to make lower highs, then I can expect to see Bitcoin down at about 8,800, right below that 200-day moving average, sometime in October or sometime later in the year. But if you zoom out long term, everything is still bullish for Bitcoin as long as it continues to make higher lows since all-time high. And as for Ethereum, I'm very bullish on what can happen here. I do believe the DeFi boom is not over yet. We saw it go up over 100% here in July, just from the DeFi demand just getting started. And as the DeFi boom continues to rise, then I would expect Ethereum demand to also continue to rise, especially with Ethereum 2.0 on the way. And I do expect it to test the 50-day moving average from current prices, which would be about a 20% bounce. And on the downside, the 200-day moving average is also 20% away. So right now it is kind of sitting in the middle with a long ways away in either direction. But on the downside, I don't think we will see the 200-day moving average unless some major news happens or a flash crash, or if Bitcoin does make it down in the 9,000 or 8,000 range. And before we finish off the video, let's have a look here at Bitcoin Cash first, and then we'll look at Litecoin. If Bitcoin were to go down as far as 8,000 or 9,000, Bitcoin Cash right now, it is struggling to stay above in these current support ranges. And as I mentioned in the last video, there is lots of drama happening and a hard fork expected to happen here in November, which could lead to a huge sell-off once again for Bitcoin Cash. And as for Litecoin, as I mentioned in our last video, that Litecoin has been known to take the lead in terms of price action before Bitcoin. So one thing right now, it is not looking good that Litecoin did cross the 200-day moving average and the price is sitting below it. And this is the first time Litecoin has crossed and closed below the 200-day moving average since March. But one good thing is it has not been oversold like this since December of 2019, March of 2020, and then now the RSI is down in that range. And those times it did end up being the bottom. So overall, for everything we covered in this video, which cryptocurrency are you the most bullish on for this year? Let me know in the comments below and we will discuss it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit that like button. I'll see you next time. For more trading videos just like this, please subscribe to our channel.